toxic leaking dump in Yucaipa. I've lost 8 of my fellow colleagues that I taught with at Yucaipa High School, 3 of them former Vietnam era vets, and there have been over 40 deaths due to brain blastomas, which is a rare type of brain cancer in Yucaipa. Also, several genetic anomalies that you cannot find on the books. I have left messages for the Department of Public Health and the supervisors, and I have yet to get one response. What brought me to this issue was several years ago, Bobby Duncan, the mayor of Yucaipa, contacted me on official business about the toxic problem that was leading to deaths in Yucaipa. For the last 2 years, he has ignored meeting me, and anybody on the city council they have refused to meet with me about this. Mayor Pro Tem Avila spoke to me in a group of students and said that it was the county's problem. So again, that's put in your hands, and I would love to get a response on that. If I don't get a response, I'm going to ask the grand jury to look at it, because I think you're being derelict in every point possible. This morning I'm at the County Board of Supervisors meeting, and this is my 4th time here to talk about a significant problem caused by the county. The county regional dump was closed in 1994. It received all kinds of hazardous materials, toxic materials, carcinogenic materials, radioactive materials, but I'm not sure they knew the full content about it. I was on the first general plan for the City of Yucaipa, and that was a major concern we had. At that time, we were told that it would probably qualify for a superfund site. But in the interim, they also okayed 2,000 homes. And I guess much to our chagrin, they started building them. I was also employed at the time by Yucaipa High School as a marine biology and agriculture teacher. And I had some students that had made a videotape about some garbage leaking from the ground, made a videotape. I brought it to Toxic Health. They said it was DDT, DDE, and a host of other agricultural and airplane solvents, because there was also an airstrip that they're owned by the Chapman family of Chapman University. So those, where the major leaks were where they were going to build 2 schools. And so I and several other teachers started going to board meetings talking about the toxic Belmont on the Hill. That was a reference to Los Angeles that spent $250 million on a high school that they never opened, that was built on a toxic waste site. We knew that there were several million dollars allocated to line the dump. We tried, in I guess best good faith, that it was lined. And several years ago, I had 2 of my good friends at the high school come down with brain blastoma. And then I found out another 6 teachers had died of brain blastomas and several other complications. So I checked the cancer registry. I looked at several other source sites with the World Health Organization and the Center for Disease Control. It seemed like these were spiked or off the chart. Well, lo and behold, I was contacted by a water official, and I was given a confidential memo called waterboards.marc.california.gov. And in there was a 200-page assessment that this was real bad, that where the dump had been built was in a blue line stream, which is basically a canyon. So anytime there's rain, it mixes with these chemicals and it comes out. And there are 40 substances that exceed state and federal levels for toxicity. A lot of those cause cervical cancer, breast cancer, colon cancer, lung cancer. The report also showed there was radioactive substances, there was DDT, DDE, and a lot of medical waste. Started complaining around the community. Next thing I know, that the mayor, he wasn't mayor at the time, Bobby Duncan, he was a new councilman, and he made his field representative contact me on official business about this. He was concerned about the toxic problems going on in Yucaipa. Well, for the next 2 years, he stonewalled me. He refused to meet with me. I would go to city council meetings. 8 times I asked the city council about what was going on, about this remediation problem. mum. Worse than that is I went to get public records on it, and most of those had been expunged. So they wanted to make sure that I didn't exist and this didn't exist. They never should have built there, Chapman Heights. The county should have been more forthcoming, and they should have put a superfund site in there. Now again, I'm not saying causation because I don't know that particular link, but I suspect it is. And because of the dereliction on the part of the county, contacted Department of County Health, spoke to Paul Cook, he's the congressman, his representative, spoke to James Ramos, his representative, left messages, not one return. So when you don't get any return, there's got to be something up. And so I figured that, look, if they're not going to deal with this, I'm going to bring it to the grand jury.